My name is Nagaraju Gunda Venkata. You can call me Nag. So, in our last meeting, many of you showed interest about mobile app development, and especially the Firebase, how it's going to help you rapidly develop a mobile app. I came up with this presentation as well as the video. So, in this video, I'm going to give high-level overview about mobile app development and Firebase usage. Okay, so let me start the presentation. Okay, so back in 2001, the time, so most of the companies, most of the products, they want to reach out to their customers through websites. So every company, every product, they wanted to create their own website. It's a .com boom. They want to reach out to their customers, providing their services through their website. So but now the mobile phones are very popular, and so everyone has the smartphones, and most of the time people use the smartphone, and it's there with them. And so now every company, not only the websites, now they want to provide their services and reach out to their customers through mobile apps. So if you are an entrepreneur, you want to come up with an idea, so definitely it's very important for you to think about providing your service through website, through mobile phone. It's that's how you can reach most of your customers, and you can increase your customer base. Okay, so I'll be focusing more on the mobile app development and mobile apps, not the website development. Okay, the mobile apps. So there are multiple categories of mobile apps up there. So high level, we can say native mobile apps and hybrid mobile apps. So the native mobile apps. So right now the most popular mobile platforms are Android and iOS. So if you develop any mobile app and release your app in these two platforms, pretty much you can cover vast amount of your customer base. Okay, so if you develop any mobile app using the Android, that means Java is the main the coding language in the Android, and iOS, then you can reach many customers. Okay, let me give a very high level overview about the Android. Pretty much it's a native application. Android has a lot of documentation available, and Google is providing this Android mobile platform. It's a open source, and so every item you're seeing here, I provided the link. So you can click on the link, and it's going to open Android, and you can see where you can download the Android, how you can learn what are the new versions are available, and so what's new going on, and all that. Okay, so for doing any app development in the Android, you have to use the Android Studio as the IDE, and so the integrated development environment. So it's a pretty much very matured, and it's very matured, and so very happily you can develop the mobile app there. Okay, so you can reach out to a lot of customers. So the next popular major platform, mobile app development platform, is iOS. So iOS, it's interesting. Like there are two mobile platforms you can use. You can develop iOS app using the Swift or Objective C. So Swift, iOS, Apple released the Swift recently. Before Swift, so you can develop app only using the Objective C. Objective C is a kind of little bit complicated, and so only kind of like professional experienced people only can develop mobile apps. But they want to capture more and more developers, and they want to invite more and more developers. So that's why Apple released the lightweight Swift platform. So that is more like JavaScript kind of the coding language. So it's pretty much very easy to develop mobile app using Swift. So but some people, they want to more have the 3D animations, and so all that kind of like very focused the game development and all, they need to go for Objective C. But pretty much all of us, Swift will give like whatever pretty much all features, what we need. Okay, so I suggest like early entry people can focus on the Swift, and that will cover pretty much everything. Okay, let me move on to the hybrid. So Android and iOS app development, they are native, and the I can tell the major difference between the hybrid and native. Okay, so hybrid platform development, that is nothing but like you can use the HTML and JavaScript for doing the your app development. So thing is, you can do the native app development if you have the budget as well as the resources. So native app development, so you have to develop your app in Android separately and iOS separately. It's kind of, you need two different kind of expertise people to develop the app. So you have the budget and resources, then you can go for the native apps. If you're kind of like, okay, I don't have much budget, or so I don't want to spend different resources for that, then you can pick hybrid app development. So there are a lot of hybrid frameworks are available. So I listed three frameworks. It's Ionic, Xamarin, and PhoneGap. So these frameworks, so if you're familiar with the web development, and so you're familiar with the HTML, JavaScript, AngularJS, then it's good for you, like so for hybrid development. So all you need to use is the HTML, JavaScript, and these Ionic, these frameworks, they will provide all required button styles, and the views and everything, like so if you develop this any app using the hybrid framework, pretty much exactly it's going to look like a the native app itself. Okay, the only difference you can see is native apps are kind of pretty good responsive applications. So hybrid app, you can see little less slow. And the difference, like nowadays all the devices are becoming more powerful. So it's I don't see anything wrong you choosing hybrid app development, because once you develop hybrid app, once you develop the hybrid app, you can release it in the Android as well as iOS. You don't have to do two different type of developments for different platforms. You develop once and release it for Android and iOS, because you can compile and you can pick the target. Okay, I want to create the binary or executable for Android, it will give it the same app. For iOS, it will give that one. Okay, the another phone gap is if you want to access the native level APIs, maybe camera, maybe contacts, maybe other stuff, like so Cordova library will provide all the features. Okay, so let me leave hybrid and native development there. Let me come back to this IoT. So IoT, it's an Internet of Things. You know, if you want to develop any device, it's kind of custom device, like so the mobile smartphones are kind of full-fledged mobile phone, and it does a lot of things. But you want to develop your own customized device which will do some specific activities. So in that case, you can think of learning the IoT, and the major the devices are Raspberry Pi and Arduino. I experimented and focused on the Raspberry Pi, so I can give more details on the Raspberry Pi. So the earlier Raspberry Pi, you have to use Python as a programming language. Raspberry Pi, so it has a Wi-Fi, it has many features there. It's a small computer. You can spend $25 or $35, you can buy the Raspberry Pi, and you can do the programming using the Python. So earlier there were no any standardized device images are available, kind of. So recently Google came up with the one standard platform for Raspberry Pi. So Android Things is the platform for Raspberry Pi. So Android Things, you can use the Android Studio for the development, Java as a language, and it's kind of very beautiful. Like the Android, then easily you can develop any program for, and the Raspberry Pi using Android things. Okay, so later on I'll go a little bit more details. So let's move on to the next slides. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Like the web apps. Web apps is another platform. You don't want to do any mobile app development. Like you can take a look at the mobile web apps. It's nothing but web apps are running inside the browser, but it looks like an application, but it's running inside the browser. Okay, so it depends on your app requirement. You can pick and choose. Like I had to go to native apps or maybe hybrid apps. Oh, okay, I'm developing a customized device. Okay, IoT, or it's kind of like I don't want to deal with all these things. Mine is kind of simple content thing, and so I can go with the web app. So take a look at these things and decide which one you want to pick. Okay, so let me move on to the next slide. So the I was talking about the Firebase. Firebase is a the mobile as well as a web platform which makes you any app developer, it helps you to develop the mobile as well as the web apps very rapidly. Okay, so you can build apps faster and without, like, you don't have to worry about the infrastructure. For example, like so if you want to develop any mobile app or website, first thing you need to think about, okay, I need to have some server support, and I need to host my website, and I need to talk to GoDaddy or some other hosting sites, and so maybe I need to install JBoss or Apache or something. All these kind of hassles are there. So if you are familiar with the mobile app expertise, you're good in the Android or anything, then you need to find out, hey, does anybody know the server expert, so that you can focus on the app development, and other guy will help you providing the server APIs if you want to retrieve any data, content, and all that. So but if you use the Firebase, you don't have to worry about all those things. Okay, so Firebase, you can think of, okay, Firebase, if I start using the Firebase, what happens tomorrow? Companies there or not? Or you don't have to worry. It's a backed by Google. It's a Google company, so you don't have to worry. Like, it's not going to go out of the business or anything. Okay, so and Firebase provides one console. So in the console you can see everything, like how is your app is doing, and so how many apps you have, how the growth is going, and so all that information you can see at one place. Okay, and also like testing. So it's a very important thing is, like, you while developing, you develop the mobile app. After that, you need to test app on multiple devices and make sure it's looking good on the devices and it's working well. Okay, so for that you need to buy devices to test, and otherwise you need to go to some other online provider who will provide devices to test your device. You don't have to do everything. So Firebase itself has a test lab. You can develop the app, you can use the test lab, and you can deploy your application, and you can test on various virtual as well as physical devices on the Firebase. Okay, the next very important thing is grow and engage your audience. So once you develop your app, you can release on the App Store as well as Google Play Store. After that, you need to see like how you can grow your app customers. So there are a lot of variety of features Firebase provides. I'll go in detail in coming slides. Okay, so it provides all equipment to engage your customers, audience, and so grow your application. Okay, and the last one, the hosting a website. So Firebase provide a static website hosting, so you don't need to go for any other place for, hey, I have to host my website and other stuff. Okay, so it's kind of like, you got an idea, you developing the app, and you want to have some sort of static website. It's ideal for the Firebase is ideal for that. Okay, let me move on to the next slides. Okay, so if you see here, this slide explains what are all the different products Firebase is providing. Okay, so there are two major categories. One is develop and test, and the second category is grow and engage. So I may not go very in detail about each and every product. So at least high level, I'll explain the important products here. The later on, like, you click on the each and every product, it takes you to the website which will give more and more details on that. Okay, so and even feel free to reach out to me anytime. I can we can have separate discussion, like if you are interested on anything. Okay. So personally myself, I felt amazed after seeing the Firebase, because I developed several mobile applications, and I struggled a lot. Okay, so I want to develop a mobile app. Okay, I want to store some data in the server. I need to retrieve, and my server guy has to create some APIs, REST APIs or something. He'll be sending the JSON format of the data. I need to retrieve that in my mobile app. I need to store that information, and I need to cache that information, all that hassle. Okay, but in the Firebase, there is a real-time database is there. It's a real-time, the name it says. So it's a JSON NoSQL based database which is available in the server. The console you can have access, and the Firebase is taking care of, like pushing the whatever the new data, new updates in the real-time database back to your devices. Not one device. It makes sure that latest information is available in all your millions of customers, and it takes care of the synchronizing the all data to all devices automatically. You don't have to write any major code. All you need to do is create your real-time database in the client side. In the client side, you need to do some dependency adding, and so what you need to store, what information, that's all. So it takes care of getting the data from your server, storing on your device, and synchronizing on multiple devices. Again, I felt that is a beautiful thing. Like that covers my server part. I don't need to worry about any server guy. Okay, I can design my database, put it there, and I can get inputs from the user, from the app. I can update that. Okay, and the next important thing is authentication. So nowadays, like, we have the Facebook authentication, we have the Google authentication, we have Twitter, we have multiple authentications are there. On top of that, some people are interested in the email and password authentication. So if you want to implement authentication for your web app as well as the mobile app, you have to read through the documentation from Facebook. Separate way they will do, Twitter they will do separate way, Google has separate way. You need to read through all the different authentication, the logics and OAuth and tokens and other stuff. But Firebase, what it does, like it combined everything. All you need to do is go and pick and choose. Okay, my application, I want to support Facebook, Google, and Twitter, as well as the email and password. These four authentications I need to provide to my user. That's it. You select them, and so they have a ready-made library available. Hook that library to your app, and go and make one simple call. That's it. It's going to show up all those authentications on the screen, and it takes care of integration. Like select the Facebook, it shows the relevant user interface for that. For Facebook, it shows the user ID, password for Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. Firebase does everything for you. You don't need to write any single extra line of code and UI for that. So you can take off authentication from your list. Okay, and the next important thing is cloud storage. So if you want to store any images or any assets, so you have to have your own server, and store the file there, and then you need to access all that. You don't need to worry about that in Firebase. Firebase provide cloud storage, so you go there, store your images. Every image has the URL. You can directly download and do whatever you want. Okay, so I think coming slides I can show the live demo, how you can store your image, and how the URL, how to access, and all these things. I'll show one live demo. Okay, future. The next important thing is a test lab. So as I explained in the previous slide, the Firebase test lab is very helpful. They have all latest and any devices available. You can pick and choose. Okay, I want to test my application on these devices. Upload the APK, and you can pick. Maybe I want the robotic test, or maybe automatic test, or maybe you can write your own test scripts and upload. So all those things it will does, and it records how while your app is running with the test, and you can see how your app is working, and any crashes, any reports, you can get it. Okay, and then the next one is crash reporting. So you release your application, and all users are using your application, and so suddenly some users started seeing the crashes. So crash reporting, if you implement the crash reporting, it's going to your app is going to report all the crashes back to you. Hey, this is where the crash is happening, you can fix that. Okay. And next very important thing is cloud functions. So cloud functions, it's a very powerful feature. So with this, you don't need to have any app server or anything, like the cloud functions itself, like you can write any server side code there, and controlling your database, updating, or do a lot of features are there in the cloud functions. Okay. The hosting, as I said, like static web hosting, Firebase provides, and performance monitor. So this is another powerful feature. So you can see, your app, when user launches your app, how quickly it is launching, and is there any performance bottlenecks are there, and all that information you can get to the console. Okay. And growth side, I'll go little bit details, and so then I'll let you go through these links and gather information. So the major thing is analytics. So Firebase Analytics, it tells, like how users are using your applications, and you can run campaigns, and you can see, like how your application engagement is going on. Okay. So another thing is kind of AdMob integration is there. And so you have a cloud messaging, that is you can send notifications to your app users, and any new feature came, you can send a notification, that is there. And remote config, and so you can, this is very helpful, like you came up with a new feature, you want to release this new feature only portion of your customers, because you don't know whether people are going to like it or not. So you can tell, okay, 10% of my customers, I want to release this new feature. You can configure, and you can release 10% people. And it has the integration with app indexing, that is kind of like anybody searching for certain things, and you can implement the app indexing, and your app can show up there. And add words. So this is another advertisement feature they given. Okay. So these are all the different products available, you can take a look at them. Okay. Let me move on to the next slides. Okay. So as I discussed, like Firebase provides the Firebase console, and Firebase, app samples, and live demo. So let me start with the Firebase console. I'll show you, like high level, how the console looks like, how you can create the project, and so then later on I'll give a live demo of this one of the application. Okay. So let me click on this one. Okay, this is my Firebase account and my app console here. So let me go here, and this is the one of the application live demo I'm going to show. Um, I developed a free live TV application, and this is the kind of the console, Firebase console for that application. And so I haven't released that yet, just is still under development. So it shows all the information about my app, like demographics, and how it is doing, and so how many people are accessing, and all any crashes are there, and user engagement, how it is there, and all that kind of thing it's going to show here. Okay. In analytics. Okay. And let me show you authentication. So if I click on the authentication, so it shows like what are the different ways of authentications available. So I can I can offer your user, like email password, or phone authentication, or Google, or Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, or anonymous authentication. All you need to do is enable all these things, and that's it. So those authentication is going to show up on your application. You have to do minimal dependency coding, and so I'll show you in my app. Okay. And the next important thing is a database. So I divided my app database like this, and so the languages, and live TV channels, and the users. And this is a JSON based database. And for example, like take V6 TV channel, I'm providing the ID, description, and the URL for that. So language ID, this is the Telugu language, and the video ID I'm giving. Okay. So this is the information I'm storing, and all this information can be synced to my mobile apps. Okay. The next important thing is storage. So I want to store any files or images, in the server so that I can access them from my mobile app. So this is what, like, I'm storing, for example, take a ABM live TV, and I have file locations here, and this is the download URL. So I can use this URL. Uh, I can use that URL for accessing from my mobile phone, and a mobile application and other stuff. Okay, so this way, like, you don't need to have any other separate servers to store your files and images and everything. Okay, and these are some other features, like, so hosting, you can do the static hosting, and so as I said, the functions and test lab. So you can create test labs. You can use the templates, and you can create. You have an app is ready, and you can you can upload your app and test it, pick the devices and test it. Okay, and there are many other features, like crash reporting and performance monitoring and notifications, dynamic links and all that. Okay, add mobs integration, other stuff. So let me go back to my presentation again. I think we are here. So the next item is Firebase app samples. Okay, so let me open this. Firebase has a lot of sample applications are available. Like, if you want to understand more about analytics, so they have the Android, iOS, or C++, or Unity. So the Firebase supports multiple platforms, like, as I said, Android, iOS, and C++ native library. People are using any of that, and some game developers, they can use the Firebase. And the Unity is a gaming platform, so you can develop games using the Unity. Okay, so all those examples are there. You are an Android guy, so click on this. It's going to open up the GitHub, and it shows all the available samples here. They have samples for AdMob integration, analytics, and app indexing, all the every product, they have the samples available here. Okay, you can take a look at, download, run, and see how they are behaving. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so just let me talk to you about pricing. You might be thinking, like, so all these great features are there, and how about pricing? Like, so does it cost much, or uh, you know is it kind of commitment for me, for a yearly commitment, or can I get out of the thing or something? So Firebase has a three different pricing plans. The Spark, that is a free plan. So next one is a Flame, monthly $25 you can pay, and Blaze is the different plan, pay as you go. So this is kind of like very good for entrepreneurs. They wanted to focus more on their idea, app. So whatever you want to develop a business idea, you guys focus on that. So Firebase says, like, we will take care of all the other burdens from you, infrastructure or scaling, and So for example, you got a really interesting idea, you develop the app, you don't know it's going to be click or popular, or many people are going to like it or not. So you release the application to the the App Store, as well as the Play Store. Suddenly, like, the many people saw that app, and oh my god, it's looking very interesting app, and people started downloading. So in no time, you need to scale your servers or whatever load. Oh my god, I'm getting a lot of load, so what do I do? So if you don't have this kind of Firebase kind of setup, so then you need to add up more servers and other stuff. But here it's nothing like that. So you have, Google is going to take care of all the load balancing, and so you don't need to add new servers or take out new servers. A Firebase is going to take care of that, and all you need to do is, okay, in the free plan, it supports only certain number of customers. Now I'm getting more and more customers, then let me move on to upgrade it to the Flame. Okay, and still I'm getting more and more customers, and so then move it to the Blaze. So you can pay as you go, like, so you're getting more customers now, like, you're getting more money, and pay, and your customers are kind of little bit down. Then so it adjusts your expenses accordingly. Okay, so let me open this with this link. So these are the plans and details. You can see, like, 1 gig of real-time database, and individual product, you can see how much you can use in the individual plans. Okay, so this will give clear idea like your budget and everything. Okay, so let me go back to the presentation again. Let me come here. Okay, so here I think I forgot to show a live demo. Okay, so let me show quickly a live demo of my application. uh, I was talking about like real-time database, and I developed a free live TV application. So I'll show you authentication. I'll run the application. After that, I'll show a little bit of the code. Okay, so this is my live TV application, and now I picked only. I said only I want to provide like Facebook, Google, and so email and password authentications. So I selected the Facebook. So this is entirely like Firebase is taking care of connecting to Firebase, Facebook, and so bringing up the UI and showing it here. All I need to do is my password. So let me log in. So it's already earlier I signed in. It is asking okay, continue. So I'm continuing that, and that's it. I launched my application, and so here I need to select what languages of TV channels I want to see. So I select like English, Telugu, Hindi, and Tamil, Kannada. Okay, so then let me go back, and here you go. So all my the English channels are available here, and so move on. So my Telugu channels are available, and Hindi and Kannada and Tamil channels are available. So these are all like free channels available on the YouTube. So let me try to run. Actually, it's not going to show the video in the emulator. This is the emulator I'm using, not on the device. So let me pick one channel. So it's kind of, it cannot run on the emulator, but on the device it's going to open and show the live TV channel here. Okay, that's the simple my application, and so uh, you can show different views of so icons and other stuff. So this is a nice application. And so tomorrow I want to go ahead and add a new channel here. So I come here and add a new entry here. So the beauty is, as soon as I add a new entry, so right away it's going to show up here. I don't need to make any line of code change. So I came to know that like so and so TV channel is not working. I want to disable it or remove it from my list. So I just come here and so just delete this TV channel. So right away it's going to update my list here. So that is the beauty of real-time database, because any change happens here, so Firebase is going to take care of synchronizing all the data real time. Okay, so let me show you very quickly the one set of code authentication. Okay, so for example, like I integrated the the real-time database, and these are the dependencies. Okay, and if you go to the launcher application, there's a one API I'm saying like so okay, Firebase, I want to select the email, Google, Facebook. These are the authentications I want to show my user. That's it. So it's going to show this authentication details there, as I showed in the live demo. Okay, so I think hope that information helps you guys. And at the end, what I'm the last slide you can see. So in the last slide, I'm giving the links for various code labs. So Android has a lot of code labs, iOS, Firebase, and so these are Android things, Raspberry Pi. These are Google product. So you can see like Firebase integrated one sample is there. That'll be very interesting. Okay, and there is another code path, another website which has a lot of interesting Android development resources out there. Okay, so I hope this slide and video will give enough information for you to explore and start your mobile app development. And on top of that, like if you have any questions or any guidance you guys need, I'll be very happy to help you. Feel free to contact me. So I put my email address here. So I put my email address and this is my name, and you can reach out to me anytime. So I hope this presentation helped you. Thank you, guys.